The manager's voice echoed through the elegant dining hall like a bullet fired in a cathedral. "You're fired. This is America. We speak English here." The entire room went silent. Dishes clinked faintly. A man coughed at the far end of the marble-tiled bar. Then, nothing. Just the stunned gaze of dozens of patrons, locked on the young black waitress standing rigidly by table 6, her hands trembling slightly as she held a half-cleared tray. She blinked, once, hard. The reason for the sudden dismissal? She had spoken fluent Mandarin to a group of Chinese tourists who were clearly struggling with the English-only menu. Before we continue, if you are watching our video for the first time, you're highly welcome to Elliot Stories. Please bless and support us by hitting that subscribe button, turn on your notification bell to get notified for more edifying stories coming your way tomorrow and never miss any. Share with friends who love stories filled with twists and morals, and loved ones who cherish respect and justice no matter the cost. Where are you watching from? Please tell us in the comments. We love seeing how far our story travels. Also, we deeply appreciate our unique constant viewers, our highly esteemed subscribers, our lovely new viewers, and our first-time subscribers for being part of our growth. The waitress's name was Camilla Brooks. 29 years old. Nigerian-American. Top of her class in linguistics at Stanford. Fluent in 5 languages. Working this job, not out of necessity, but because she had a plan, and it started at this very bar. Her silent vow echoed in her chest like war drums as she left the restaurant in dignified silence. She didn't cry. Not until she got home, sat on the edge of her futon mattress, and allowed herself 5 minutes of emotional release. After that, her face hardened. She opened her laptop. Camilla had never told anyone who she really was. A co-founder of a fast-growing international hospitality brand, she had chosen to go incognito, embedding herself in a frontline role to better understand service gaps for the brand's upcoming acquisition targets. Ironically, the same upscale bar that had just humiliated her was on their priority list. 24 hours later, the luxury bar that had once buzzed with laughter and piano jazz was deathly silent. Every table sat empty. 2 waiters paced nervously near the wine shelves. The sommelier kept checking his watch. At 10:05 a.m., the general manager, Mr. Chandler, stormed in red-faced. "Where's everyone?" he bellowed. No one answered. Suddenly, the double doors opened with precision. She walked in, no longer in her waitress uniform, but in a crisp ivory suit. Flanked by 3 men in tailored navy. She looked taller, older, sharper. But her eyes were the same. Chandler's jaw dropped. Ms. Brooks. It's Camilla, Mr. Chandler. I'm the new majority shareholder of this establishment. Effective as of this morning. Gasps shot across the room. One of the assistant chefs dropped a tray. There must be some mistake. There's no mistake, she cut him off, calm but cutting. You fired me yesterday for speaking Mandarin to guests who needed help. You embarrassed me in front of customers and staff for being multilingual in a global city. I chose not to reveal who I was then. But I will say it now. She tapped a remote. A projector blinked on across the back wall, displaying a slide. Global Unity Hospitality Holdings acquires Maison du Lion, new leadership effective immediately. Her photo was on the front page of the slide deck. One by one, the staff who had ridiculed her yesterday started looking away. Now, she continued, stepping forward, voice echoing through the grand hall, let's discuss what hospitality means. For the next 30 minutes, Camilla walked them through a masterclass on inclusive service, global etiquette, cultural competence, and staff empowerment. She wasn't here to shame them. She was here to shift them. At the end of her presentation, she did what no one expected. She offered the staff who had mocked her a choice, retrain and recommit, or walk. Surprisingly, most chose to stay. The shame on their faces said more than words ever could. But Chandler, he fumed quietly until she approached him personally. You'll find your severance papers on your desk. Security will escort you out. You can't do this to me, he growled. I built this place. She looked him in the eyes, steady. No. You managed it. Poorly. The grand opening ceremony was held the following week under the new name, Unity Lounge. It was packed. Camilla stood on the small stage, looking out at hundreds of diverse faces. The once exclusive spot had been rebranded into a multicultural haven. Multilingual menus, international chefs, even a wall dedicated to underrepresented voices in hospitality. The Chinese tourists she had once served returned, this time as honored guests. They brought a gift, an intricately woven silk scroll with the Mandarin characters for grace through fire. She bowed as she received it. The media caught wind of the story. The headline on the New York Times read, "Fired for speaking Chinese, returns as owner in stunning turnaround." Twitter blew up. So did YouTube. Camilla's story sparked global debates about racial bias, language discrimination, and dignity in the service industry. Camilla later launched a foundation named Serve with Dignity, aimed at training frontline workers on cross-cultural competence and confronting internalized discrimination. In an interview, she said something that struck a chord across generations. "I wasn't angry at them. I was disappointed. But disappointment only lasts if you allow it. I turned mine into a door. And then I walked through it." The video hit 10 million views in a week. The lesson: don't assume the story based on the chapter you walk in on. Sometimes, the person you belittle today is the one signing your paycheck tomorrow. Respect is free. But the cost of disrespect can be catastrophic. And language. Language is a bridge, not a threat. It's high time the world started building bridges. This story was humbly crafted and brought to you by Elliott Stories. Catch you on the next one.